Shopify B2B is a suite of features and tools that lets your business sell to other businesses. These B2B features include things like custom price lists, companies, and individual payment terms. Let's see how we can set up the B2B features for your store. Shopify B2B lets you set up a list of companies that your store is going to be doing business with. In my demo store, I've got a list of products. I want to give different companies special pricing on those products. So what I need to do is start by entering each of those companies into the B2B section. In your Shopify admin, under the Customers area, you'll see a new section called Companies. This is where you'll go to edit, add, or remove any companies from your list. Let's add our first company. We'll start by entering the basic company information. You can put in the company name, and if you have an ID number or something that you use for your accounting, you can enter it here. It's optional, but if you've got one, it's handy to use. Next, you're going to assign the main contact for that company. You can pick from any existing customer that you have, or you can add a new customer from right here. By clicking Add, you can enter the contact information for that customer. You can put in all the basic information like first name, last name, email address, and phone number. Next, you want to enter a location, and the location is where you're going to be shipping the product to that company. You can put in the address information here. You can also put an attention field, so maybe there's somebody specifically at that company who should be receiving the shipments. Use the fields provided to enter the address, the city, the zip code, and the phone number for that particular company. The next thing you want to do is to assign a price list to that company. This is where you can give them special pricing or discounts just for them. I haven't set up any price lists yet, so let's come back and do this later. The next area is really important because this designates how the business is going to pay your business. It's very common in B2B for a business to extend terms to another business. For example, net 30. This means they've got 30 days to pay you for the merchandise. You can even choose to say no terms, and they would have to pay you right away. Next, you're going to choose the checkout process. So you can determine whether or not the customers of this company can ship to a different address or where they have to ship to the address that you've designated above. And you can set that here with the checkbox. And lastly, you're going to want to handle the taxes. Typically, in a B2B transaction, the company is going to provide you with a tax ID number for their particular state or region. You would put that into the box here and then search for the particular state where they've got the tax exemption. Once you have everything completed, you can hit Save. The company overview page is going to show you details about that specific company. You can see the name, the terms, any customers, or any orders that have been created for that company. The company list will show you all of the different companies that are associated to your business. So far, we only have the one company, but we can always add more. Now that you have the companies in this system, you're going to want to create price lists for each of those companies. You can create those price lists using the Shopify B2B features. Price lists let you create custom pricing for individual companies or groups of companies. Select Price Lists from the product menu in the admin. From here, you can click the Create button to start creating your first price list. The first thing you'll do is give the price list a name. Now, you could create a price list for a specific company, or maybe you create a price list that you could apply to a group of companies, like a tier or something like that. In this case, let's create one called Gold Tier that we'll reuse for multiple companies. Once you give it a name, you need to decide what the adjustment is going to be. You could do a price decrease, or you could do a price increase. In this case, for our Gold Tier, we're going to do a 30% price decrease. So any company assigned to this price list gets 30% off. You can choose Add Locations to pick a company from the list. Shopify will show you a list of all of the companies you've previously created. Once you've assigned the location, you can hit Save, and now that company is associated to that price list. All of the products in your store are going to receive the same 30% discount as designated by the price list. But let's say you wanted to have specialized pricing on individual items. If you click the Manage button, you have some options for adjusting prices. Your list of products are going to show up with a designated discount or increase shown in the price field. If you want to override any of the prices, you can actually go to that particular product and change the price in the field itself. When you enter the override price, only that particular product or variant is affected by the new fixed price. All of the other products will remain unchanged, and they'll receive the price increase or decrease that you've designated. In this case, we've got our 30% decrease. When you're done with your changes and you save the price list, it'll take you back to the overview page. From here, you can see you've got your original 8 products, with one of them designated as a fixed price. Let's go back to our list of tiers. So far, we only have one tier created, which is the gold tier. Let's create another one so we can apply different pricing to different companies. In this case, let's call it the bronze tier. So this price list is going to give 10% off to any company assigned to the price list. So now in my price lists, I've got the bronze tier and I've got the gold tier. I can then click into any specific price list and see who's assigned. I can see that I have the one location assigned to the gold tier price list. If I go back and look at any specific company, I can see the price list associated with that company. If I want to make any changes, I can quickly and easily use the context menu to add or remove price lists. Let's say we wanted to remove this particular company from the gold tier. I could click on the gold tier checkbox and hit save. Now we can see that that price list was removed and there's no price list associated with that particular company. I can repeat the process to add a new price list, and now easily change the price list associated with that company. Now that you have price lists saved in your store, you can assign them to new companies during the creation process. So let's create a new test company in our store. Enter all the required information for the particular company. When you get to the price list section, you'll see your previously created price lists available for assignment. Just pick the one you want, and it's now associated with that company. Once you finish creating the new company, you'll see your price list assigned automatically. So if we go back to our price lists, you can see the two different lists that we've created. We've got our bronze tier and our gold tier. You can see that there's one location assigned to the bronze, but there's none assigned to the gold tier. So if we click into that price list and choose Add Locations, we can pick from any of our previously created companies to add it to that price list. So you can see it's pretty easy to quickly go into any price list and adjust the different companies that are associated to that particular list. But how do the individual customers get to take advantage of the particular discounts? Let's take a look at that next. B2B customers can take advantage of custom pricing. Let's go to our customer list and figure out how we can assign custom pricing to any particular customer. The first thing that you need to do is make sure that a customer is associated with a company. So if we go back to our list of companies and click into one of them, we can see the customers that are associated with that particular company and therefore are eligible to receive the discounts that are applied from the price list. So how do we do that? We can use the context menu to add a customer right from the page. By clicking on this, it'll bring up all of the customers that are inside of our store. We can pick from any of the current customers that are available, or we can add a new one. In this case, let's pick one of our existing customers. You can give that particular customer special access to the company by using the setting here. You can choose to make them an administrator, or maybe their role is to just purchase things. In this case, you can set them to ordering only. They will only be allowed to place orders for that particular company and won't be able to do any other type of administration. So now you can see a list of customers that are associated with that company. So that means any of these customers are going to receive the discounts that are coming from the pricing tier that's associated from the price list. So how do we give that customer the ability to get the special pricing? Well, they've got to be able to log into the store with their credentials so they can get the pricing. But before we can do that, we have to make sure that your store is set up to support the new B2B login method. And you do this by going into the settings. Go into the checkout and account area of the settings and scroll down until you see the area for customer accounts. This is going to show you specific settings for the customer accounts in your store. We're going to start by showing the login on the header of our store. The next section is the most important because that talks about how customers log into their specific account. There's the classic customer accounts, and then there's the new customer accounts. If you look in the description, you can see Shopify mentions that the classic customer accounts do not support the B2B services. So you need to change your store and set it to the new customer accounts. The new account system requires that the customer enter a code every single time they log into the store. Shopify is going to create a special URL that's going to be used specifically for this new method. Save the changes to your setting, and now your store is ready to support the B2B customers. So how does this work? What does the new system look like? Well, let's take a look by logging into the store with one of our existing customers. Let's jump over to the front end of our test store. If we take a look around, we can see that all of the products in the store are using the normal, full retail prices. Now, our customer that we've assigned should be getting some type of a discount because they're part of the company. So let's log in so we can receive the special pricing. When we click on the accounts in the nav, we're taken to the new accounts login page. You can see that there's only a field for email. The old system used to have the email and the password. That's no longer needed with the new account system. You simply put in your email and then click continue. The system is going to send a code to the email address. Once you receive that code, you're going to copy and paste it and put it into the login form. You can now access the new company section for your particular account. In this case, I don't have any orders yet, but I should be able to see my new pricing. If I go to the store and look at the products page again, I can see that I'm receiving the discounts that are coming from the pricing tier that's assigned to this particular company. In this case, a 30% discount on all of the products in the store, plus there's the special fixed price item that gives me an even bigger discount. If we go back to the price lists, we can confirm all of the special pricing and overrides by managing the pricing on the products. So now that my customer is receiving the special price list, it's time to check out. Shopify provides quick and easy checkout for B2B customers. Let's say we want to purchase these shoes from the store. We can see that we're already receiving the discounted price because we're logged in as a customer for that particular company. When I click checkout, you'll see that the store is going to automatically have the shipping address that's associated with my particular company. In the settings for the company, we've made it so customers can only purchase to that particular address, so it makes checkout easy. Since this is a B2B customer, you'll see that there's no field to put in a credit card or payment. This particular store is given terms. So in this case, you can see the payment isn't actually due for another 60 days. The last step is to review the order. When you click this, it's going to show you all of the details of the order. You can see the contact information, the ship to address, the shipping method, and then the payment terms. If everything looks good, you can click the submit button to actually place the order. Once you submit the order, you'll see the standard Shopify confirmation page. It'll also show you a reminder for when the payment is due for this particular merchandise. If you go back to your Shopify admin and click into the orders, you can see that that specific one is set with a payment pending. That means that this is an open order in your system and you'll have to collect payment. There's a few different ways that you can handle this from within the Shopify system, or maybe you do it outside of Shopify. You can see the details on when the order is due and the terms. Let's say we wanted to handle the payment through Shopify. There's a couple options that Shopify gives you. If you click on the Collect Payments button, you can see two options. You can enter a credit card, or you can mark it as paid. Let's say that maybe the customer has given you a credit card over the phone, or you've got it on file. You can use this option. Maybe you've collected the payment outside of Shopify and you simply want to mark it as paid. You can do that using this option here. You can also send an invoice to the customer by clicking the Send Invoice button. And in this case, it'll send an email with a link for the customer to pay the invoice. For this example, let's go ahead and mark the order as paid. If we select this from the option and click Mark as Paid, it will now assume that we've collected the payment outside of Shopify. We can go back to the customer page and see that that particular order is marked as paid. If we go back to our company section and look for that specific company, we can see the order is now listed on the overview page. This is an easy way for you to keep track of all of the orders for a specific company. For example, if we go back to a previous company, we can see they don't have any orders yet. If we go back to our first company, we can look at all of the orders and get all of the details just by clicking on the overview page. Not only can we see past orders, but we can create new orders for that company right from this page. By clicking Create Orders, we can jump into the Draft Orders section and select the different products that we want to add to the order. Since this is a B2B customer, it already has all of the shipping and contact information added to the order for us. The default company payment terms are also pre-selected on the draft order. If we want, we can go in and change the terms for this specific order. It's only going to affect this order and won't change the company default setting. Once we save the order, you can see it's waiting in the Draft Orders section of your Shopify store. If you click into this, you can see all of the details of the order, including the products, the shipping, and the terms. Like any standard draft order in Shopify, you can review the details before you actually create the final order. In this case, if everything looks good, you can click the Create Order button, and Shopify will create the final invoice in the Orders section of your admin. And since this is a B2B order, you'll see that the payment is pending because we've given it a net 60 terms. If we go back to the Companies section and click on the company, we can see that both of the orders are displayed on the overview page. We can quickly see the status of the payment, and we can quickly see the status of each of the orders that are pending for that particular company. Once the orders are placed by the customer, they can always log back into the Shopify store to see the specific details about the order or to process a payment. Let's log into our test store using our customer. We can see both of the orders that we just placed, but one of the orders is pending and the other one is already paid. Let's take a look at the one that's pending, because this one is going to require a payment. If we click on that particular order, we can see the details and the payment requirements for that order. So let's say the time has come for this particular company and customer to pay for this particular order. We would click on the Pay Now button to bring up the details. We can see all of the previous information for the order, including the products and the ship to information. I can now enter the credit card information and complete the transaction for this particular order. It's quite common for B2B companies to place the same order over and over again. One handy feature in the B2B section is the ability to buy again. By clicking on this, Shopify will automatically take the products from the previous order and put them in the cart for a new checkout. It makes purchasing again super easy for any B2B customer. The new Shopify B2B features take the complexity out of business-to-business transactions. If your store is ready to take the next step, the Shopify B2B features are the way to go. If you're looking for a Shopify expert to help with your B2B store, reach out to Sunrise Integration today.